Okay, today we are playing a game on Volskaya Industries. The average SR of this game was 2,289, and we will be playing Winston on attack and Zarya on defense. I'm very tired. Our current team composition is D.Va, Winston, Soldier, Widowmaker, Zenyatta, and Mercy. So, Volskaya Industries attacking not really a great place for Widowmaker, because there's kind of like the arch that is a bit of an inconvenience, you know, not really a great line of sight. But don't worry, the Widowmaker informed us before the game started that they were playing CSGO earlier and they were duking on kids or something like that, was their exact phrasing. So, I'm confident, definitely. And the Soldier, oh, I like the Soldier. My man Brick over here, that's his username. Very unusual name, quite bland. I have to imagine he chose it because when he looks at a brick, he sees something of himself in it, because that's roughly the level he's at, intellectually. He's my favorite type of Overwatch player, which is, wants to be the shot caller, doesn't really know how to play the game. So, as you can see, I'm really feeling it, Mr. Krabs, with this team. So we're gonna start the game. That's gonna be too loud. That's too quiet. That's too loud again. Actually, might not be too loud. I can't really hear properly through here right now. So, we've been walled off by May. Don't want any of that. We just jump over here to safety. So, we don't really want anything to do with that collection of people over there, because this collection of people is Orisa, Junkrat, and May. This is pre-patch, by the way, so Junkrat, currently not really a hero. Roadhog, less of a hero than he is currently in this game. We don't really want anything to do with that area, because these people are difficult to advance into. And we will probably get frozen and then bullied around, and we might step on a trap, and it'd be really inconvenient. However, these people are not good at moving very quickly, so we can just, like, go past them onto their backline or onto the point, and then they have to come to us, but they're not exactly a combination of heroes that wants to pick up and move very quickly, because it's Orisa and May, you know, and then Junkrat's in there. Junkrat doesn't have 2 mines yet, so he's not super mobile at this point in time. They also have a Winston who's coming out here to play with us now, and then May's running off over there. I think May just barely dies. Oh, we almost kill ourselves trying to get to the May. We do not get the May. We got the Orisa somehow. Probably got shot by Widowmaker. Then we get frozen in front of the gate, and we die. We basically would get mad greedy trying to get the May, and then we end up overreaching for that. Sort of get away with it, but then we get frozen in front of the gate, and by the time we can jump away, we don't get out in time, basically. So we get back over here in time to see the rest of our team getting killed by the blizzard. And, it's difficult for us to go into them right now, because currently half our team is dead. Because we've lost May, we've lost Widowmaker, oh no, and D.Va is currently out of her mech, so she's not really a hero yet. So it's difficult for us to go in. This is also when our man Brick wants us to go in, because we have the momentum, allegedly. I don't really see it personally, but apparently that's what we have. May, over here, still being inconvenient. Now killed Zenyatta also, so our only healers, both our healers are currently dead. We don't really want to be over here right now. Our man Brick wants us to ult because we're apparently going to die. I don't see how. I'd be pretty impressed if we died suddenly. And then he wants us to go back in because we have the momentum. Even though half our team's currently dead right now. And D.Va's not in her mech, so she's basically dead. We do have Primal Rage, which is cool. Not something you actively think about using, but is nice to have. We decide we're just going to use it and try to smack these people around. May currently being healed by Mercy, so that one's not going to work out. Our man Brick at this point starts pleading and begging, please, please kill them, please touch the point. Oh, what a brilliant leader we have. I'm not salty. You're salty. So we've killed Mercy, which is great and all, but half our team's still dead right now, so we don't really get very much off of it. We get rezzed right here, so now we get to try again, and we try to jump on with Zenyatta, but we end up overshooting it, which is unfortunate. Our Zenyatta coming in with this, he's got his, oh no, Blizzard also, so we don't get to win this push either, basically. And then there comes the tire as well for good measure, both our healers are dead. Not much we can do to stop that as Winston, because, I mean, well, they used ultimates and we have no way to negate those ultimates. What can you do? Brick just keeps running in. He's just come out, immediately entered the enemy team's line of sight and died about 3 times in a row, if you've been keeping track of the kill feed. So he's, doing well. He's now, deciding that he's gonna play Reaper. And he's informing us that he's gonna go flank, so we should go and stand on the point. And then go stand on the point is all he proceeds to say for the rest of the round. So he's a fantastic leader. I don't know what we would have done without him.
Go to the point.
We're really, there's not very much we can do about a lot of what's happening in this game, because we don't have a lot of great ways to stop it, as Winston, really. The best thing we could have been doing, since the start of this round, is basically just going past the very aggravating front line, and either forcing them to come to us, or just killing their backline if they don't come to us at all, because we can just jump on the supports and bully them, and, they have to come back and try to help them, or we kill their backline and then we take the point. We've been doing a lot of, like, fighting in the choke, trying to fight people we're not good at. Basically, we've been trying to fight Mei and Orisa a lot of the time. And we're just not allowed to fight these people as Winston. So, other thing I guess we could have done, we could have changed to Zarya, during this round, because we've got D.Va, so she can do all the main tank stuff for us, and we can, as Zarya, just make it really difficult for the Mei to kill people, and then we can go in there and do DPS, because, once we get high charge, which is easy to do because they have a Junkrat, so we can farm up a lot of charge off of him, and then we can go in there and start bullying people around Zarya with high charge, seeing as, Brick keeps killing himself, and the other person's playing Widowmaker, while attacking Volskaya, which is not exactly the best place to be playing Widowmaker. So, those were like the 2 best things we could have done. A lot of what was happening to our team, we don't really have very many ways to stop as Winston. So, unless we can somehow reduce our bubble's cooldown by like 50% suddenly. Not terribly likely. So now we're playing Zarya, and as you can see by the timeline, they either barely win or we draw. So, you know, you can place your bets now. It goes a lot better than expected, basically. Our other tank is Roadhog. Remember, this is pre-patch, so Roadhog is worse here than he is right now, and he's not very good right now, is he? One day. Not today, though. So here comes Winston. Winston didn't really get a whole lot accomplished right there. He's jumping back in again while his bubble's on cooldown, so he gets killed for that, as he rightly should. And we're low charge right now. Oh, there's a Reaper over there. That's scary, so we have to be careful of Reaper, because Reaper can kill a Zarya very, very quickly if our shift isn't up. Zarya, low HP. She gets killed in the end. Widowmaker eventually shoots her again. So, enemy team so far showing us that they don't really know how to get through the choke point. What we do right here is not really a legal maneuver, because we see this Reaper and we start advancing into him, and we're half HP right now. If that Reaper is like a little bit better, he just breaks the bubble really quickly, bam, shoots you in the face and you're dead because you're playing Zarya, so you're a big beefy tank lady, which Reaper is really good at killing. And we get kinda greedy a few times during this game, where we go out like a little bit further than we probably should be. And, we don't get punished for it at any point, I'm pretty sure. If we do, it's only like once. So, they have a Junkrat, which is fantastic news for us, because we're playing Zarya. Junkrat's just free charge for Zarya, basically, right there. Oh, look, we're at 100% charge now, and we were at 80 before, so I mean, it's not like a huge boost, but I mean, it's just so easy when there's a Junkrat. So, Reaper got behind us. We did very briefly catch a glimpse of him teleporting over the edge earlier, but when I say very briefly, I do mean very, very briefly, so we would not have noticed that in the moment, probably. So, Fortunately, enemy team, just sort of trying to walk through the doorway one by one. We just throw a few bombs into Junkrat's room, and we're like, how do you fucking like it, asshole? Turns out he didn't like it very much. Right, that's very greedy, where we're standing around out here in front of a Reaper and a Roadhog, and our bubble wears off, and they don't kill us, but we probably should die for that most of the time. But they didn't kill us, so that's the thing that matters. Winston left his bubble in a very productive place on top of the archway, so great stuff. Our man Brick, really upset right now. Listen to this. Just, like, listen to him.
Get him. He's gonna stall. They're about to dive. The hog behind, he's gonna hook me. Guys, holy crap.
Oh no, I got hooked. Fuck. Guys, come on. Well, shouldn't you have avoided the hook? Shouldn't you have, like, stood in a less hookable location? What? No, Roadhog's overpowered. He just pulls you out of position and he kills you. That's why he got nerfed, because people are babies. I'm very tired, and when I'm tired, I'm beat around the bush even less than usual. The Overwatch community is full of big crybabies. So, we have Graviton. We never really have a chance where a moment where it feels very necessary to use the Graviton, because there's never really a point. Soldier decides he's going to use Tac Visor right here, which is an ill-advised maneuver anyway. And you can see the exact moment he realizes that it's ill-advised, because he starts just fucking running out the door. But he doesn't get out the door, and he gets killed before he can get away. Now we're going to get into a fairly prolonged scuffle in this room with Roadhog. And Reinhardt's coming in now as well. Reinhardt not really allowed to do that. He's dead now, as is the rest of their team. So, they don't know how to attack a point, basically. They kind of like come in one by one. The DPS are going in ahead of the tanks. Their tanks are bad. People over there wasting their ultimates. We're farming charge off Junkrat. Basically, they couldn't be fucking it up more if they possibly tried, really. So, it's the great equalizer in Overwatch is that the enemy team can always be worse than your team. It's not about which team is better, it's about which team is less boosted. And in this game, we're about equally boosted, so we don't get too terribly far. Like, we've had this Graviton for a while, but where would you have used the Graviton? I wouldn't have used the Graviton anywhere. So we get pinned here, but the bubble holds long enough for us to get away with it. And now, oh god, this takes a while to resolve itself, and Reinhardt, should just jump off the edge, really, so they can get back with his team for the one last push, but he doesn't want to do that. In fact, he'd rather waste Earth Shatter as well, so that they don't have their strongest ultimate during the last push. Questionable maneuver, but it's his choice, and we'll respect that. Junkrat up there, giving us a small loan of 40% charge again. Man, isn't it nice when you just don't really have to do anything? So we call out that we see that happening, and Widowmaker's fucking dead, but she hasn't really been that helpful this game, so we're not super upset about it. We are going to use the Graviton, don't worry, we have a moment coming up right here, seeing as the res just happened, we're like, yep, I'm gonna do that, fair enough. This is like really the only time it's felt even remotely necessary to use it, so we may as well. Basically, both teams are really bad and don't know how to attack a point, is the moral of that story. Both teams were, like, bad in the same way, basically, as well. But we drew, so all that really happened was we wasted 13 minutes of our lives. Hooray! I've started to dread Horizon even more lately, because now it feels like every game I play on Horizon goes like 23 minutes and ends up being a draw. So that, I'd rather lose, honestly, because at least then I don't feel like it was a complete waste of everyone's time, you know? So. The moral of this game is basically, try not to fight collections of heroes that you're bad at fighting, especially as Winston, because Winston is, there are quite a few heroes in the game. Winston is not really good at fighting. And then we're trying to, like, fight this ball of, like, two heroes we're bad at fighting and one that we're good at fighting, but he's, like, with the other two that we're bad at fighting, so it ends up being really difficult for us. But, like, they just want to stay buckled down in that one area. So if we just go fight their backline, or just like go touch the point, they have to come to us, because otherwise we'll kill their backline or win the game. And they don't want to move. That collection of heroes doesn't really want to move. Orisa can't reposition very quickly, especially with her shield, depending on when her cooldown is for that. Mei is just slow, and would rather people come into her, being as she's zone control hero. Junkrat, he can move around, but like, he'd rather sit shelling in the choke point. He doesn't really want to have to come back and deal with people on the point. So if we just go over there, start fighting their point, start fighting their backline, that works out. Otherwise, we can identify that our team is not really killing anybody. Not necessarily because everybody's bad either, but just because the collection of heroes we had were not very good at killing their heroes. Because we had Soldier, Widowmaker, well, Soldier, and we had Reaper towards the end. But like, Soldier is just sitting there shooting at Orisa's barrier the whole time. No one's really helping him break the barrier because we don't have anyone else. Like, the other hit DPS was Widowmaker. We were Winston, we had a D.Va. So we're just not good at killing Orisa's barrier, so these people are just sat back there. But then the people sat back there are also inconvenient to kill because one of them's Mei and the other's Orisa. So these people take a while to kill. So our collection of heroes is just not going to kill them very quickly. So we either, like, play around this little group of heroes and just go do our own thing and force them to do something they don't want to do, or we change into something that's better at fighting those people. Something like, Junkrat would have also been pretty good, because then we can just sit shell back at them. Pharah would be good, because those heroes are bad at fighting a Pharah also. Tank-wise, Zarya, we can do more DPS, we can make it difficult, we can farm Junkrat, make it difficult for Mei to kill people, and just do DPS once we're high charge. Or we could, try Reinhardt and just sort of advance into them, because they're not fantastic at breaking our barrier. They have Junkrat and Orisa, but like, that's it. So we could just try and like, walk through them, or just walk on the other side of the doorway with our shield up and just walk our team onto the point as well. So there's a few things we could have done to try and play around this situation. And we didn't, but like, you know, that's the point of learning. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful. And now I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you, and good night. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.